I wanted to talk about the controversy with Kim Kardashian and her little phrase. She has the best advice for women in business and working women. Get up off your ass and work. It seems like no one wants to work these days. So that was her advice. I did look at the whole entire 6 minute and 52-second video, which was the most vapid and painful 6 minutes and 52 seconds of my entire life, because I just couldn't. Their voices just make my ears burst into flames and bleed. Now, to the statement, I'm not surprised by this statement, because you have to think about them as a family. If you remember, before Kanye cleaned them up and put them in the upper echelons of fashion, and now they're capitalizing off of that, what were they? The first memories that I have was sex tape, crazy antics that were as stale as a month old saltine cracker in the open in the cabinet. And also, they were a upper middle class family. Rob Kardashian was a lawyer to OJ Simpson, so come on, he was making money, and they want to float on this thing that they work so hard. They didn't work so hard, they just showed up. There are people who are nice and they are very influenced by celebritydom, and if they've ever been in the presence of a celebrity, they kind of bend the knee. I can't do that. I can just talk about what I see. And this family was living in Calabasas. They were not hurting. They were not poor. They are not self-made. Their father, Robert Kardashian, made sure they lived a lavish lifestyle. They don't know what work is. They don't know what hard work is. And they are totally out of touch with the average everyday person. The average everyday person makes $100 over $50,000 a year. That is less than $1,000 a week. That's reality. And let's not talk about the tax rates. Come on now. Regular people are literally the working poor. They are literally trying to push people into slavery. They are so greedy. If you can get through this without passing out and convulsing on the floor, there is the part at the end where she says that phrase, and then her family wants to chime in, and it gets worse from there. It gets worse from there. You can totally tell that these people live in a bubble. And because they have lived in that bubble, they cannot have empathy, sympathy, because they don't even have a working knowledge or eyes to see the reality of the world. They are out of touch and they are not educated people. People think because someone has a lot of money that they're smart, that they are cultured, that they're worldly, that they're traveled, that they have deep understanding, and they have to be the smartest people to have money. No, you don't. You can be a brute. You can be a thief. You can be the biggest douchebag. You can be trash. You can be a criminal. Okay, look, I mean, if we go back in American history, it started out with thugs, the original gangsters, if you know what I mean. But I'm not even going to go there. This whole thing, I mean, you can do a Google search just to look at the reality of what the average person in this country makes. And for them to make this statement, I swear this whole thing with the Batman, and that whole party, Pete Davidson, Kanye, is just a smokescreen because of what she said. And You saw she got up there and she said it loud and proud during an interview, and her family backed her, which means, like I said, they're in a bubble, they're out of touch, they don't know what they're talking about. These people have lived a privileged life from birth. They basically got everything handed to them, and if they wanted extras, they were put in touch with friends. This is the way this works. Usually, when you see people in higher management and CEO, CFO, certain positions, they are not there on their own merit 100% of the time. I would even say 1% of the time, if not less. It is because of who you know, who you grew up with, who you went to school with, who you network with, who you rub shoulders with. Somebody scratched somebody's back. It's something like that. And that's why they try and keep a tight circle. It has nothing to do with intelligence. I am willing to go out there and say it has a lot to do with stealing and killing. They steal from people who don't have the resources, and their family have resources and know people, and they take it and run with it, or they jack somebody else's idea. I mean, come on, this family is known for just taking other people's ideas, and a lot of black women at that. Getting into what her sister was saying, basically, she said, Khloe, she said that she doesn't want to be the smartest person in the room. I don't think that happens often. She wants to be in the room with other movers and shakers. I understand you wanting to be able to glean from other people who have done it, but most of the time they're not telling you the whole truth of how they got to where they are. There's very few, I didn't say there's none, but there's very few who got to where they were on their own merits. Not everybody is Oprah. Not everybody started out as poor and then worked their way up. That's just not how it happens most of the time. And basically, she likes to be in a room with people that have ideas to steal them. I mean, that's what the family does. And also, if she wants to be in a room with people smarter than her, she basically thinks that room is filled with a lot of rich, wealthy people. She really associates wealth with intelligence. Neither go together. If you could see, some of the saddest people are the people with money, because they have to watch their backs all the time. They don't know who is truly in love with them or who is there to be taken care of. They don't know who their friends is, or if that person is trying to one up them or step on their back, or waiting for a chance to put a knife in their back. A lot of them just live in misery, and some of them commit the S word. Because, I once, when I was younger, said, this person had all this money and they just threw themselves off a building. What could be so bad? And this is coming from a place where, I grew up in poverty. But it's basically showing you that money does not make you intelligent, smart. Money does not bring happiness. And money cannot fix everything. It can help you get a leg up in business. It can put you in positions to even help. But, who is really helping? That's one thing, the whole charity scams for tax write-offs. But yeah, it's tone deaf. It's disrespectful to women to sit up here and be these women who have always lived in this upper middle class, wealthy area. You haven't had to lift a finger. Kim Kardashian started out not working her ass off, but showing her ass off, and showing every part of it and every part of her body while she deep throats lollipops. That's how she got her start. That's how she got her reality show. She then posed for Playboy, and she also in my other video, I show their first photo shoot, which was with Girls Gone Wild. So that's how she got her start. You know, she was just a little upper middle class girl who was living off of her dad's money and trying to rub elbows with people because she wanted fame. It wasn't the money, it was fame. And the money just came with it. Now she's trying to tote herself off as a lawyer and social justice warrior, which is bullshit. She didn't work. She worked her assets, I'll say it like that. She worked those well. That's basically it. And her sisters basically benefited off of her working her assets. Kylie swagger jacked a lot of black women. I also show the pictures of her. She also got her face from a black woman. The whole lip kit, you know, that was Tiger's doing. Dumbass. Kendall, Kanye again, he slid her on in there. He put her in his fashion show. You know, he legitimized her, and then other people started picking her up. People want to say, you know, she has the body to do this. She has the body because she has the trainers and she has the dietitians and she can get a meal plan. She doesn't have to think about anything except but waking up at 1 o'clock and walking the runway. That's it. She doesn't have to think about diet. She doesn't have to think about anything. Everybody else takes care of that for her. Kylie, she does not take care of her child. None of them take care of their children. They have maids. They have au pairs. They have chefs. So they are completely out of touch with reality. And they're looking down their nose at people saying how they're Armenian. They sure don't have a lot of sympathy for people. Imagine being wealthy and looking down your nose at people. So basically what she said is, you need to get off your ass and you need to work. That's why you're not successful. That's why you live in poverty. That's why you live below the poverty line. You're not smart. You're not getting yourself educated. That came from Khloe. You are not working hard enough. You're lazy. You need to get yourself in gear, and then you'll be successful like the rest of us. This bitch, all the fucking privilege in the world, she has the audacity to look down her plastic surgery nose and tell people in this country that they're fucking lazy and that's why they don't have anything. Blows my mind. But I'll go ahead and leave it right here. Let me know what you think about this situation, and I'll see you in the next one.